Do you ever feel like you can barely keep your head above water? Like, no matter how hard you try to improve yourself and your life, you somehow always end up falling short? Believe me, I get it. Here at Tranquil Living, our intention is to help you keep your head above water and go a little bit further, to inspire you to live the life that you want to live, a more tranquil life. But the way we go about things might be a little bit different than you've ever thought of before. Curious to know more? Stick around to find out how we can help you turn your chaos into calm and live a more tranquil life. One that is filled with time for you to spend on the things that you want to take care of yourself and your health, to take care of your family, and to go out and experience all the passions that you have. Hi, I'm Monica. I'm an expat from the United States, and I'm currently living in India. Throughout the course of my life, I have turned what should have been chaos into calm in many different situations. And today I'd like to share with you how to get started. What am I talking about? Tranquil living through organization. If you're not prone to organizing, that's okay. This video is for you. If you're a natural born organizer, this video is also for you. I'm going to show you how organizing your space and your mind can help you turn that chaos into calm. If you're curious to know more about the Tranquil Living System, stick around. I will go into details of each section. Before we begin, a little background about me. As a typical American preteen, my bedroom floor was covered with clothes and shoes and accessories and everything else a teenager could imagine to have. So I was not a natural born organizer for sure. But over the course of my teenage years, I gained a lot of insight from my mom and grandma about how organizing could help me to manage my emotions as a teenager. I learned how to organize pretty much every space in my house from those two, and I continued on to other parts of the house, using that as a way to manage my emotions when I was a teenager. As I moved from tiny apartments to finally my own house, I was really wanting to see what organizational practices that I could take with me into my own living spaces. But I went one step further, engineering my space so that it actually fit what I wanted to do with my life. Fast forward to college and university, I was really curious to know more. So I went to the library, got tons of books and magazines, read so much different content from different authors from all over the world on how organization actually can help people to live a more tranquil and fulfilled life. In most homes all over the world, you go in and you see almost the same layout. Now, it's interesting how quickly this has come to be, because I know that in many places in the world, people didn't even have couches or dining tables and things like that. But because of media, because of so much advertising, a lot of these Western ways have sort of infiltrated into other parts of the world. And now people are setting up their houses as if it's for someone else. When it comes down to it, you need to organize your house and you need to engineer the spaces so that you can live the best life that you want to live. Fast forward to 2008 when I got my first teaching job, and I started taking all of these organizational techniques into my classroom, and I could instantly see a difference in the behavior of my students, the way in which our community was formed in the process, and it really was a powerful tool also in the classroom. Since living abroad, I lived in a tiny little apartment in Kuwait. I moved to a villa in Bali. And then since moving to India, I was living in a pretty large flat in Pondicherry with some nice big balconies. And I moved to some other villas and apartments here in India as well. How did I organize it? Well, throughout the years, I have developed my own system, a system that I have used time and time again in different spaces and different places and different countries, and as a single person versus being now with my husband. So I have designed that throughout the years, and now I have named it as the Tranquil Living System. In each of these spaces, depending on what my needs were at the time, I organized and engineered those spaces to suit me and my now husband. I turned what could have been chaotic environments into tranquil sanctuaries where I could spend time with my friends, take care of myself, and do the things that I'm passionate about without having this feeling or this overarching shadow of chaos that so many people have these days. That's a little about my backstory and how I used organization as a way to find tranquility in my own life. Now let's get into the how. The Tranquil Living System will work for anyone, no matter their age, their ethnicity, their gender, their level of organizing. It doesn't matter. It's very step by step. And for most people, the steps are pretty easy. Some might be harder for others, depending on if you've done this type of thing before. This system is not a quick fix. It is a set of instructions that you go through again and again until it becomes second nature. And believe me, it will. Over the course of my life, I only had to do this a few times, and then it became so ingrained in me every time I moved, which was every couple of years. It seemed like there for a while. I was going through the system and doing these things naturally. I didn't have to think about it, but I realized that as I had grown up, I had done these things again and again and again, and that's why it was easy for me over the course of my life. It's important to know that this isn't a quick fix and it will take some time. But like pretty much everything else in life that's worth it, you will have to dedicate some time and energy. But the more time and energy you devote to this now, the less chaos you're going to have in your life, thereby making it easier in every other aspect of your life. In the videos that follow, as well as in my book, there are step-by-step instructions, there are pro tips, there are instructions, there are demonstrations, and there are pep talks. So when you reach stumbling blocks, I will help you to get through them. Let's go over the overview now. There are 5 steps in the system, and each one has its own components. Let's get started. Take the steps one step at a time, and if you get overwhelmed, just take a break and come on back. The first step is dream it. This is where you will dream your most amazing life, the life that you've always wanted, yet somehow just can't seem to get. The brainstorming part is a way to really help you get inspired as to why you even want to do this system. What do you want your life to be? What do you wish for? But also, what currently isn't working in your life? What isn't the way you want it to be? How are you not living into your values? That's what the dream it stage is for. The group it stage is categorizing. You will categorize things in your house according to 5 different categories. First, you'll have clothes, then you'll have books, paper, you have miscellaneous, and you have heartfelt. So you will categorize in those 5 categories, and then you'll move on with the steps of the system. Step 3 is the longest for most people. This is where you will decide what to do with those items. So you first will categorize all of the items, and you will group, let's say, all of your clothes together. All the clothes in the house will come into one section, and then you will go through those clothes and you will decide, do you keep it, do you toss it, or do you gift it? You've got 3 options in this section. Once those items are sorted, then you're going to decide how to store it. Now, if you decided to get rid of something, obviously that will either go in the bin or recycled. If you decided to gift something, maybe that'll go to a friend or a family member or a charity. But if you decided to keep it in your home, then you have to find a home for that item within your home, finding spaces for all the things to live and be able to go back into easily. This part is the most fun for me, and I think that you'll find it fun too. You will either box, bag, fold, stack, roll, or hang your items. The last step is practice it. This is where you're going to develop habits and routines to help you keep this tranquil living system going in your house day after day. This will be really easy if you're on your own. It'll take a little bit more effort if you have other people in your house, whether it be a spouse, partner, maybe even roommate or children. Practice it is one of the most important steps, because if you go through all of this effort to get your house and your living space in order, but then you don't set routines in order to keep up with it, you will very quickly find your way back to where you started in the beginning. The most unique part of the Tranquil Living System is you don't have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff. A lot of these other content creators and people that have businesses, they want you to buy all this stuff to be able to organize your home. And sometimes you might want to buy something, a tool or something that will help you to organize. But what we try to do is we try to help you to look and see what you already have in your home and look at it in a different way. How can you use boxes in order to make compartments inside larger compartments? How can you use hangers to hang things that you never even thought of hanging before? So I think the most unique part about our system is we do have the sustainability and the earth in mind. We don't want you to go and contain everything in your house in plastic, because eventually that plastic will no longer be usable. It will end up in a landfill, and we don't want that. We also don't want all of these gadgets to end up as more clutter in your house. So let's take the items that you already have, really see what is serving you and what brings you joy, and then re-engineer your space, store items appropriately, give them a home so that you can live the life that you want to live. A lot of the hacks and other quick things that you'll see on Instagram and other social media platforms to how to get yourself more organized, those don't work. In other words, you're going to have to put in some effort. This is a life-changing system that will make it so that you can live a more tranquil life. Organizing one drawer, that's not going to work. You need to change the way that you view items. You need to change the way that you view yourself within your house and how you can live within your space. So, if you're ready to get started, let's do this together. There's so much content, both online, in books, in magazines, in movies, about how to live a more tranquil life. But I think the one component that so many people overlook is this: it's organization. I know so many people who have such amazing goals in their life. They want such great things for themselves. But they come home and they're uninspired to do all of those things because their environment that they are staying in is so chaotic that it overwhelms all of those amazing ideas that they have of goals that they want for their life. This is the key. This is the element of organization that will help you to be able to reach all the goals that you have in your life and to live with tranquility in your inner being. If this sounds like something you'd want to know more about, check out the next videos that I have with more content and tips. My upcoming book will have all the instructions, pep talks, demonstrations, everything that you need to work your way through the Tranquil Living System. But for now, I'll see you in the next video.